Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Today I'm going to talk about why human beings are special beings. Actually, there are many different reasons why human beings are different and special. All of us know that in terms of their physical pattern, they're the best in creation. No creation is equivalent to human being because they can walk straight, they can stand straight because of their erected body. They're special. They're special because of their brain size compared to their body size. These are physical aspects. At the same time, their cognitive aspect, if we take into consideration, they surpassed all of the creations in a way that no other creations ever been even able to come close to human being. So in this way, human beings are also special. Not only that, I would like to say some peculiar aspect of human being. Like suppose other beings, other animals, if they are happy or angry, aggressive, in most cases, from their attitude, from their facial expression, gesture, you can understand that it is angry at that very moment or it is happy at that very moment. But only for human being, if they really pretend, good at pretending, good at acting, you'll never be able to understand what is the intention of this human being. Maybe they are your very closest friends, but still in the history, in human life, things happen that people get killed by someone who they used to believe. So in a way, from the expression, apparent expression of human being, you cannot understand. For other animals you can understand, but for humans you can understand that. So in this way they are also different. Not only that, the kind of childhood all animals have. Human child, human kids, human newborn baby are the most vulnerable in all species. No species doesn't need that much time and care to change their face from helpless toddler to kid to boyhood. You know, they're the slowest, even though the best creations on earth, still they take the highest amount of time to be able to cope up with his surroundings compared to other animals. And there are so many aspects you can yourself find out by yourself. But the main point that I want to make today is human beings are the only being who cares about their spiritual well-being. You know, yes, of course, there are some people who doesn't care about that, but in most cases, in most societies, in most human population, community, country, race, people tend to care about spirituality. If they're healthy, that is not enough for them. They will have to have reasons to keep them happy. Their mind has to be happy. At the same time, if their mind is okay, health is okay, at the same time, they'll have to be spiritually sound as well. So in this regard, I think human beings are quite different from other species. Not that they forcefully try to believe, rather the kind of instinctivity they have, the kind of nature they have since their childhood, they tend to explore, they tend to look into things, look for things which is connected to spirituality. So that is the point I wanted to mention, that human beings are quite different. But now let me tell you, in terms of success, the kind of success Islam want to give people, and the kind of success so-called materialistic people want, or they give the concept of success. In this regard, human beings are also special. You know, these worldly people, I mean materialistic people, they want to give people success of this life, good health, good life, good financial, social status. That is the whole purpose of this success. According to them, maybe Bill Gates, Elon Musk, they are the most successful people. But in terms of the belief of Islam, either they could be, or someone else who doesn't even have much money or social status could be the best of human being. How is it? That is through piety. Maybe a person doesn't have any kind of social status, but within himself or herself, he or she is the one who is caring about her body, her soul, or his body, his soul the most, who is trying to keep himself or herself away from all kinds of bad things. I mean, the things that harm his body or soul or mind or psychology. Piety, the whole purpose of piety is not the way we understand. The whole purpose of piety is, make yourself the best version of yourself. That is the whole purpose of piety. If you have much more money, you are the one who can be the one. If you don't have nothing in your pocket, still you can be that kind of person. That's why in Islam, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran mentioned that the one who has got the highest amount of piety, that means who cares about the best version of his body, soul and mind, he is the best in the eye of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not only that, this materialistic guy, they have limited the success until your death. But let me tell you one thing. The kind of explanation, description, aspect these materialistic people have formulated, the kind of success they want to give you and me, actually, to me, this is very silly. Why? Suppose you are a very successful teacher. So your success in most cases will remain with you to the last day of your teaching. Okay, forget about that. Maybe you'll be respected by your society, by your people, the community you live in, greatly until you die. But after death, as you don't even believe after the life of death, so this teacher is successful for how many years? When he started his career like 30 years old and finished his career 60 years old, his success was like for 30 years. Okay, let's add up more 20 years. Suppose he lived for 80 years, so his success is for 80 years. More 20 years, it is going to be 60 plus 20, 80. So the kind of service he had given to humanity, for that he is getting success for 80 years. For 30 plus 20, so 50 years. Okay, let's add up some more years. Suppose he was a very good student, which is why he was renowned, he was respected, he was honored, even he was given so many different prizes in his student life. So altogether, let's say his period of success was 80 plus 50 plus 10 or 20 more, like 60, 70 years. Okay, let's exaggerate it. Suppose he lived for 100 years and he was a successful person for 100 years. And let's not be confined only with this kind of profession, because we are human being. Excuse me. We'll be thinking that other people who has got different profession, they might get more success in the name of name and fame and living through history. Okay, let's put that example aside. Let's take the example of those persons who are historically famous, king or queen or emperor, or you know, people who change the course of history. But whatever it is, they actually are in the pages of the book. That is how their success is. If they are not alive, if how they can take the test of success for 100 years, but after the death they cannot get the test, even though you are praising, even though you are giving them respect, even though you are discussing about them, but they are not getting the taste of the success. So whatever way you explain it, it's limited. It's limited with time, even could be limited with space. So this is the limitation of so-called materialistic people's definition of success. But one thing, just before I forget, suppose instead of a teacher, let me give you one example. A person who has lived for 100 years like the teacher, but throughout his 100 years he just did all kinds of bad things. All kinds of bad things. He harmed himself and he harmed the society. He killed, I shouldn't say hundreds of, like thousands of, like Hitler, but I'm telling like he killed even 10 people, 15 people, 20 people, like the serial killer do. So according to the definition of success or failure, this man failed for 100 years or 50 years or 70 years or 80 years, and he caused the failure of other people's life, which is very limited for a limited period of time. And if there is no concept of getting reward or punishment after death, Maybe it's good for the teacher because he didn't do anything bad, he did all the good things to the society. But for this guy who harmed himself, forget about himself, but the kind of harm he did to society and other people, according to that kind of definition of success, maybe this man is not successful, but at the same time, this man is not getting proper, you know, return of his action. But as a human being, you and me should be cautioned to ourselves that this is not how the definition of success should be, could be, or should not be understood, should not be defined. Why? Because in this way, maybe the good people are getting the taste of success for few years, but whatever the bad people, they are not getting the result or the punishment or the return of their bad actions. So there is a big question mark. Then what kind of definition it is of success or failure? If it is time bound or space bound, I mean temporal or spatial. The way human beings are, the way the greatest are, I think their success should not be defined in this way. But think about the definition of success or failure which is given in Islam. If anybody does any good thing, then he'll be rewarded accordingly, in fact with many folds in the hereafter. For how many days? Allahu A'lam. Only the Creator knows. For unlimited amount of years, time. At the same time, people who didn't want to be a good person, who just caused harms to the society, to himself, they will also be rewarded, which you call punishment, for unlimited time. Obviously, it is also clarified that people who were not that good, that bad, average guy, they will also get reward according to their amounts of deeds. So, what is the reason we will be doing good things for? For the kind of definition that is given by the materialistic people, or for the kind of definition of success given by Islam? You might ask, the same kind of definition of success is given in all other religion. Then the question arises, you have to look into the kind of success all religions offer to you, and the kind of logic, reasoning, rationality behind all these ways which is given in every religion. Then it will be easier for you and me to take decision. Number one, what kind of success we want. It is only for the limited time, being one of them who just believe this worldly life is everything, or being one of them who believe that there is obviously life after death and will be accountable for our actions in that life. And After that, the search start, because as the last portion of my talk was, which religion would I look into? Then let me help you with three options. First of all, you need to look into the definition of the God given in every religion. What kind of God they worship to, the characteristics of the God. Second, the books which is given in that religion, the authenticity of that book, the scientific fact of that book. Does it make sense? Is it rational? Is it applicable? Is it reasonable? Just question all these things and keep reading this book. And last but not the least, see the person through whom this religion came on earth. Is he the one whom we can follow in all phase of our, in all aspect of our life, in all stage of our life? Only these three things: the concept of God, the authenticity of the religion's book, and the person who brought the concept of this religion is worthy of following. Then take the decision. Truly, I personally, I am Muslim, not that I am born in Islam, born in a Muslim family. Have looked into these two types of aspects of religion, then I'm happy to be having been a Muslim, because the kind of definition is done for the Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the book, the Quran, different scholars who have spoken for the scriptures, and his Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, every man whom I can follow blindly in the way of my life and everything aspect of my life. Hope I'm not telling you here to Islam, I'm telling you just what kind of success would you like for you for this limited period of time, for the unlimited period of time to come. What kind of success do you happy with? Are you happy with? Just question yourself. If you want only limited success only for limited time, okay, go on. Be happy with the kind of life you're living. Otherwise, look into the teachings of all religions, then take the decision and head on to a success that makes your life, my life, beyond our life, that gives us success beyond our life. Alaikum.